Welcome back, everybody, to Running the Riffs coverage of the Collegiate League of Legends Championship here in 2024. What a game, TDS. There's no other way you could put it. Although, I'm going to put you on the spot. If you had to describe that game in 3 words, what are they?
Why are no wait? That's 4 words. Let's go fight. Yeah, that
Yeah,
works. Yeah, that
yeah,
works
that
actually. Yeah.
absolutely works. That's exactly what both teams wanted to do, was fight forever, and fight they did. And Winthrop comes out on top in a slugfest. But the series is not over yet, TDS.
At
One
all.
final game between these two schools.
Exactly. One last game for today
One
because they
final
still have
test.
lower bracket and upper bracket depending. But yeah, it's there just now. And crucially for me, one of the big things that I want to call out for this fourth game because it's something that I said in the start of the series. I think that Winthrop, when it push comes to shove, have a little bit more difficult time to closing it out. It's happened time and time again before in multiple scenarios, both in any CLOQ and sometimes in the CLO atmosphere. And today, in the fourth game, when it was a really difficult situation, Denethor and Mobility, the biggest carries of the team, stepped up. And I have to call this out because I think this is what I wanted to see for them. I wanted to see Mobility, particularly, step up when it was needed the most, and he did an amazing job in that fourth game. If he can continue with that, I can begin actually turning around on some of the criticisms that I have for Winthrop because to me, when they go over being a team that cannot clutch out in the crucial moments, that is when I can see them finally battling against the top teams.
Yeah, Mobility had a strong game. It might not have been the clutchest performance, but when they needed him to do things, he did get the job
Yep.
done. And of course, it was Denethor as well, making big plays in the early game to ensure that Winthrop was at an advantage, and big plays in the late game to ensure they were able to seal the deal. Does St. Clair have a response for that, though? Because Ricky LaFleur was pretty big himself and had that big apprehend near the Baron near the end of the game that I thought was actually going to finish this game off, and then they couldn't finish.
Yep. To me, the biggest question mark in the last moments is why have Corky near the Baron buff? It's the big question mark for me. Not because it's necessarily bad, but you knew that Denethor had teleport. You knew that they had the double teleport as well. So you have to send someone that can actually come back quickly to the fight. Even with no teleport, Corky has package. So he has ways to get to the fight quicker than the Darius. But that decision there are a couple of other decisions for St. Clair end up costing them the game at the end. And huge props to Winthrop to taking advantage of that and winning the game in a difficult situation and bringing us to the game five.
And now at CDS, I had suggested at the end of the last game maybe you just target out Denethor. Do you think that's a
Yep.
move? All right. So what do you leave open? Because you've been banning Rumble, you've been banning Gnar, you've already been targeting him. Do you ban Camille and let him have Renekton? Now the difference is here is that Winthrop is on red side, so you could theoretically say ban Camille, pick Renekton, but then let Denethor
Yeah.
take whatever he wants into that.
But I feel like you have to go for that. It's already happened before, and Ricky is fine with this. Now, I think that it's perfectly fine if you go for the mirror of Renekton against Kisante from the third game, and as long as Kisante doesn't die, it doesn't really matter. Like
Yeah.
the real issue for me in that third game was that Kisante got solo killed early on, and then the game kind of really got out of control against the Renekton. But if the
Yeah.
game goes pretty normal from the first 10 minutes, nothing happens in the top lane, no deaths happen in the top lane, then Kisante is a perfectly fine matchup against the Renekton. I think that's completely fair. What I'm looking for more is what hyper carry you want to give to mobility and what hyper carry you want to give for Rockland. Because with the Saya, it almost worked out well, but the bot lane really was making a difference in that fourth game as well.
Yeah, and one thing to keep in mind, TDS, potential reverse sweep on our hands. Winthrop went down 2-0 and have come
Yep.
all the way back. And after that last game, if you're St. Clair, what are the emotions like? I always talk about emotional exhaustion, and it can go both ways. When
I
you
agree.
lose a really close game like that, and you have to come out for the next game, like, guys, we were up 2-0 and now it's 2-2. But also Winthrop, they could be flying high right now and get smacked down pretty quickly.
Yeah, there's always the thing of flying too close to the sun. You're able to be up here really effectively, but then one bad thing happens and the morale goes down immediately, crushing down. So it's a game where you have to have this sort of emotions control to a certain degree. Obviously, you can let them go, but try and keep them control. And one, I trying to make the or trying to translate a phrase from sports, particularly for football, the game that I love most,
Okay.
and it's keep your head cold but your heart warm. Trying to, if I'm not sure if you understand this, but
I
it's keep
understand.
the emotions high but not let them take over your mind, because
Yep.
you have to think straight for these situations. And I think that that's the big crucial thing that both of these teams need to go for.
Yep. Play enjoy the moment, but play laser focused. I
Yeah,
believe is what that means, and Winthrop has been doing that here in the last two
I
games. And
agree.
I have to say that had some opportunity to talk with Denethor on multiple occasions recently, and he has gone on record on stream saying that he expects the matchup against St. Clair to be pretty easy. Well, I don't know if this is what I would
Easy.
call easy, Denethor. I'm not sure this is what you had in mind, but if you take out the first two games, maybe he feels that way.
Yeah, like we're I to a certain degree, most people were expecting Winthrop to be able to or to concentrate more on Maribel, their next
Mm-hmm.
round opponent, than this one. And then in reality, now they have to battle with everything they got to be able to even go over St. Clair. I think that's a huge shout out to the level that St. Clair has shown. Not that much on Winthrop being less strong or anything like that, but more so St. Clair proving that they are a program that needs to be respected and a program that can go the distance if it's given the chance.
Yeah, I'll say even if St. Clair gets knocked down to the losers bracket, I fully expect them to be able to find a way to win games down there and not
Yeah.
see them get bounced out in top eight. And if Winthrop goes down there, I mean, the other team better be really prepared for who they're taking on because that is going to be something really crazy. We're starting to get some confirmation here that
Okay.
this might be if Winthrop wins, this would probably be the first reverse sweep in a best of five in CLOL championship history. Not
And even
including
if
the
it's not the
regionals,
case,
just the
I would be fine
championship.
to forget it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's
and if it's
fair.
not, who cares? Because
Yeah,
this is
exactly.
awesome, and you should all be happy that you're here for it.
Exactly. We're here for a 5 game series. When you look at the other series of the day, 3-0s, it's looking like Maryville 3-0 yesterday. This is the sort of competition we wanted to watch. 5 game, all out, just smacking each other in the face and see who outlasts the other. This is the sort of thing I like to see. Even when I'm analytical, I love to see teams just battling it out.
Yeah, and one thing that I want to talk about is I expected Winthrop to come in here and their mindset was back where it needs to be, and I thought they were going to come in and take care of business. And St. Clair has certainly fought very hard. I'm starting to think that it wasn't not playing that great. It is St. Clair that is a top team that knows how to
Exactly.
play to their strengths. That is a team that deserves to be here, and that a team that if they won this series, people wouldn't have any doubts about their validity, and they're going to try to prove it here. We're into the draft.
Exactly. The draft of the last game of the series is starting here, and the first band, as expected, here maybe this is something you were talking about in the previous
Mm-hmm.
game, but could be a reality. The Rumble band may be gone. Like that's something that it's not really present in a couple of these players, so could be the thing that they finally let go of. The Ash though going to stay there.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if this Rumble goes by the wayside and if they pick it on the side of Winthrop. Again, that's not a champion we've really seen come out of them recently. We are seeing that Camille get taken off the board too. So this is the plan for St. Clair. Going to try to make Ricky as comfortable as possible. It has worked largely throughout the series.
Exactly. As long as you're comfortable against Denethor, there's things that you can pull off. Denethor, though, is a big monster up there, so there's never anything that you cannot be afraid from him. You can just pull out something and then completely carry the game. But as for now, I think this is the right choice they are taking here. With the Kalista, and I'm surprised with this though. The Jinx ban coming in from St. Clair, they can perfectly find first pick it for Rockboom and play around that, but instead they are not going to be willing to go for the champion, and the Bear is probably going to be the ban here for Winthrop.
Yep. Perfectly scouted out by UTDS. I guess this means we're on Callista Gaming, or not Callista, Kaisa Gaming for the
Could
side
be
of
Kaisa,
Rockboom if they want to go for it.
could
I'm
be
interested to
Senna.
see what this first pick is going to be. Senna would be a really good option too. The Tom Kench being
Okay.
available, you could always do Senna Nautilus, but Nautilus being the first pick here makes a lot of sense.
I would love to see if we're going to go for the last game of the series, Rockboom Tristana. He goes in with this preferred pick. He has an Nautilus, so it's not a bad bot lane matchup. But here, still from Maddie, taking away the Skarner. And I gotta agree, the Skarner was really big in the previous game. He really important impales that he was able to get through. Apparently, he cannot go for the 4-man impale, just 3-man. That was a mistake on my part, but it's still really impactful in multiple situations. And now even adding the Sai on top of it. So trying to have mobility be on a auto sufficient champion like the Kaiser, like the Saya.
I think what they're really trying to do is ensure that Rockboom doesn't have a get out of jail free card, right? Now
Yeah.
you're going to have to go face to face with this Skarner. You're going to need to maneuver your way out. You're not going to be able to hit the R button and say, "Oh, look at me, I get away!" Woo! But now you got to stare him down. You got to take your cleanse. And as you mentioned, Tristana will get locked in. It could be for either one of them,
Yep.
but Tristana Nautilus is such a strong combination.
Exactly. It could blow out the bot lane completely open if they start down there. And it may be against a Rakan. Yeah, I was thinking if there's a Rakan more than likely can come through. Chukis is not a stranger to this champion, can play really well. And the duo to try and force an engage to happen with the Skarner can set up for really nice impales as well. So all in all, not against this option. Going to take away the LeBlanc from Bakery Boy. So not fully sold on this Tristana going into the mid lane. And I honestly think you also have to ban a bit of the top lane. Maybe ban away the Xanthi or the Renekton if you're on the side of Saints to try and take away from Denethor's pool. Makes complete sense for me here, and I'm maybe a Jax for Riki as well here.
I'm calling it. Are you ready for this, TDS? Two
Okay.
top lane bans for the Saints. Winthrop picks mid. The Saints go with the tank top laner. You know, maybe. Or they go with some sort of top laner that will get exposed by a Vayne. And we'll see Denethor lock in Vayne on R5. That's what I'm calling.
And then we have lane swaps.
Oh, that would be so terrible, man.
For all, how the series has gone, that would be the perfect way to end it.
Makes
in
so-
that
too much
nobody
sense.
fights each other, and then we go for a lane swap. But yeah, the Renekton at the end there, the ban away perfectly. This could be an angle for maybe the Ari is not a bad choice.
Step
Sword
one
actually
complete.
does like it quite well. I'm expecting here maybe an Ornn, maybe a Cyan could be as well. Not against each
could
other.
just pick
Zac
Darius.
is also a choice.
Zac is a very good option. We are
So it
going
is
to
Tristana
see.
mid.
We are going to see the Kaisa come through, so that does mean it's going to be Tristana mid, as you pointed out. Again, good flex pick for the squad. You get your options, you see what they go with, and you determine, hey, we'll take our Tristana into the Ahri and try to get the job done. Gragas going to be locked in for
Gragas.
the top side. This is a chaotic fight for the Saints.
Yeah, is that considered a tank top or not? But,
I don't know.
Well, I would be. I
He's
think it's
everything.
fair to consider. Yeah, I agree. The Gragas is not a bad choice. Adds on to the magical damage, and then at the end, it's going to be the Aatrox. Not the
I'm sad.
lane game, but this does mean that at the very least, I'm not expecting a lane swap for the 5th game. It's going to be Aatrox for Denethor, and a carry for Denethor is not something I'm against for. But this game has everything to just let the sparks fly.
Absolutely, and Denethor, their champion that's going to be able to try and carry this game. Ricky LaFleur, though, on Gragas, the great neutralizer. TDS, listen, I've stuck with Winthrop throughout the series. I have to think that they're going to come into this game with a lot of confidence. I'm going to go with them to win this one. TDS, I want to know your
prediction is
thoughts.
set.
Your
My
prediction is
set.
set.
I
You
made
are
it
on
at the
pace.
start, and I made it at the end. It's gonna go St. Clair. I will believe in Maddie's Lilia, in Rock Boom, and in Winthrop not able to closing it out. Maybe that's too harsh, but I wanna get my prediction right.
Well, TDS, we'll see if you are correct. If you truly know everything that's going to happen in CLOL, if you are the scriptwriter. But we have to get through this final game to determine if you are. Winthrop looking for a reverse sweep. St. Clair looking to finish off a series that they thought should have been done 2 games ago.
I actually thought that was going to connect. It's going to be the 5
I
men
did
into
too.
the mid lane. They are going to go into the jungle and try and get a little bit of vision up there as if possible. They also get an award, so all in all, good experience for Rockboom. Rockboom has a lead. Now level 2 is much closer for St. Clair.
One thing I want to point out, we talked about how important this matchup is. Ricky LaFleur on the Gragas. He's been relegated on tank duty at times, as his carries haven't necessarily been available all the time, but he did have carries available and opted into the Gragas here. I'm pretty surprised about that. I want to know your thoughts. Do you think that he's going to be able to get the job done here? It doesn't really feel like a Ricky LaFleur champion.
It doesn't feel like a Ricky champion, but it does feel good with the composition that St. Clair had. Now, that being said, there's always a chance to play just the space creator, and that's something that I do think Ricky is capable of doing. He can push the side waves, he can try and make a teamfight happen with a great cask, or try and get the backline, and I feel like this is potentially good for the side of St. Clair. I'm willing to bet on Ricky's impact here.
You're betting on Ricky. Ward is on the red buff, so they're going to know that Watau is doing it right now as Matty is going to clear through his top side. TDS, where do you think we'll see the first action in this game?
I'm thinking first blood bot lane 3v3 in between the junglers and the bot laners.
Seems like a pretty good choice with both of the junglers starting on the top side of the map. We'll have to see if we'll see any action elsewhere.
Skarner is on the Crocs. Could maybe make a slight attempt to try and go gank the Gragas. Not necessarily a bad choice, and could set up for a potential success for Denethor. But it's looking like maybe it's going to be the normal, typical pathing and nothing out of the ordinary here.
Yep, take all your camps. Try to hit level 6 as soon as possible. If you are the Skarner, hit your level 6. Drop it on somebody's head, pull them in, take them down. That's exactly what you want to be doing.
It's what you want to be doing, and it's not a bad choice to try and do something. So probably going to be something we see in the future. They hit level 2 in the bot lane, and it's going to be a slight attempt onto Chuki's.
Chuki's going to come back, land the knock-up, more damage on the Miracle, a solid trade out of Winthrop.
Yeah, all in all, really nice. Both teams taking damage onto each other. Nobody with a clear advantage. One thing I'm surprised though, it's Rockboom taking the Ghost instead of the Cleanse. It's not like it's a bad choice. So that I'm surprised a bit here this game with that.
Yeah, that is a little surprising. All the CC abilities, so Rockboom's going to need to be on his stuff. Maddie is going to be coming around the corner in just a second here. There's the root. The bowling ball misses. Mobility ignited. He's got to try to get away. Flash still available. He does burn his ghost, but he will survive.
It is 2 summoners for the price of 1, and that's on Maddie not connecting the bowling ball. That could have been a difference maker there. Still, really nice way to dissuade the gang. Early fight already we see down there in the bot lane, but with no Flash and Miracle and the Skarner on the side, this could be a setup for a potential bot lane play.
Here we go. Miracle's been ignited, and Miracle falls. First blood going over to Mobility.
Yeah, who else than Mobility getting the early first blood? And this is the thing, if you make it work out in the bot lane, then that can set up for a potential play for the enemy team if you don't make it work out. As Sword gets impacted here, but I don't think it's going to turn into much.
It's a good charm. It'll at least be a good chunk of damage because Maddie came in. Be able to get this wave shoved in and Bakery Boy back there or moving.
Yeah, the only thing here, oh, what the hell happened there?
Denethor diff happened. TDS. He gets the kill in the 1v1. He doesn't even burn his flash. He's going to back in TP and get this entire wave too.
Yeah, that is so big because now bot lane advantage, top lane advantage, only place where you can maybe see an advantage is in the jungle, but this is so big for the side of Winthrop, and just like that, the game is going on its head, and Winthrop is setting themselves up for success. Wokao is even coming, no flash for Ricky. This could be doom.
Yeah, we'll see if they elect to go make the move here. This is a large wave, and I'm sure Denethor wants every bit of it. Yeah. Already has his pickaxe, so I feel like Wokao can just go elsewhere at this point. Just make sure that sword is left A-okay until he hits level 6. And then the world is your oyster if you are the Skarner.
Exactly. You have anything to do as the Skarner because pretty much your lanes are winning by themselves. You barely have to do anything. And then you can just set up for success as soon as you hit level 6. But a really good start for Winthrop, already 1,000 gold in advantage. I still do not understand what happened in the top lane for it to fall so badly for Ricky, but it's not delivering on what I thought it was going to happen.
He hit the Ricky LaFleur, unfortunately, as Denethor just a little too strong. Now level 6, so keep that in mind. We could see more action up there. Sword has now hit level 6. It's going to be much harder for St. Clair to try to take him out.
Yeah, exactly. The window to try and even collapse into the mid lane kind of gone. But I feel like as St. Clair, you're fine even if you just collect the farm for the Tristana because that's double AD carry. You always get a lot of body later on the game. Now, the dragon, first dragon falling down in the 5th game in favor of Winthrop. It's been the favored objective for St. Clair, but this time around they do have the way to control it. Although they are trying to come here and collapse, maybe.
Maybe they do want to fight for it. Miracle is here, so is Rockboom and Maddie. Level 4 everywhere in the bottom lane. Big engagement by Chookies. Miracle taking damage. It was stolen away. But Bakery Boy finds himself in trouble. Chookies with the bomb on him has to get away. Bakery Boy alone. Sword getting in there. Sword picks up 2 kills, and Rockboom's going to be the next target. Sword goes crazy in that fight. They clean up Rockboom, and Maddie looks like he's going down next. Knocked up, and Winthrop University showing up. Showing out 6 minutes into the game.
What was Bakery Boy's plan? He jumped in trying to get the highlight play, but he just threw himself into the wolf's den and dies really randomly. Huge by Sword to respond correctly, but that feels like a fight that Winthrop wins in virtue of every mistake from St. Clair. They got the dragon and they get the initial attack, but it's just so weird to try and pull it off like that. Huge props to Winthrop though.
Can we talk about Sword in that fight? Oh my goodness. Played it perfectly. His Orb of Deception just slicing through these low members like butter. He tried the Woody Fruity there. For those of you who do not know Woody Fruity, I encourage you after the game, go look him up. He's a great Gragas player.
Look, I respect the attempt. It looks really badly, don't get me wrong, but I respect the attempt. Oh, bottom play though.
Rockboom is ignited and is just in. He's taking so much damage here. Maddie is on the bottom side, so if they want to try to dive, it's a little risky without that much HP on Rockboom. St. Clair have not had an answer so far for Winthrop.
Yeah, this game is just looking all Winthrop, and the problem is that for St. Clair, they can try and play it later on, but they have to find a better timing. They have to wait for the right time. And also looking in this top lane matchup, Denethor is destroying Riki. Apart from that first blood, the CS discrepancy is so big in favor of Denethor, and now it's going to be a big question mark of what the side of St. Clair can do to try and turn around this game.
Well, the good news is TDS, they do have double AD carry, as you mentioned earlier, and they've been really good at keeping games alive. Rockboom has been that guy, especially on this champion. The question is, can he stretch the game out long enough for Bakery Boy to get that big? Talked about emotional exhaustion in the draft. It looks like St. Clair has come out just a little flat.
Yeah, so far at this point, it's looking much flatter for the side of St. Clair, although they are trying here to collapse into Wukao. He has level 6 now, he gets a smite.
This is a potentially good play here. Suppression comes down, Charm comes down, Maddie takes a lot of damage, but look who's low and asleep. It's Wukao. Wukao will fall. It's 1-for-1. Sword in trouble, but Denethor is here with the World Ender. Ricky's got to try to get away. He gets charmed. Ricky LaFleur escapes the chains, and it's a 1-for-1.
Yeah, gets out with his life. That's what you care about here. Able to not take as much damage. And then the one that gets the kill is Ricky, so that can salvage a bit of his laning phase now that he has double buffs plus the kill. We have to wait though to see how much impact are they going to get with that kill that they are able to collect from Wukao. And also look at this bot lane. Mobility is so far ahead of the Kai'Sa.
Yeah, this is a game that Winthrop has been ready for in the bottom lane. The combination of Xayah and Rakan is very, very strong. One thing to keep note, look at that top lane wave. I mean, it's just a rough spot for Ricky, right? He's got 28 CS to 69. The wave, I believe he's got a stronger wave. Can't quite tell off the mini-map, but it looks like it's pushing into Denethor.
It is pushing into Denethor. I think that's why he's trying to push it as quickly as possible so that he can try and bounce back. And that's been something that Denethor has been doing really great. He has the CS advantage, but he also has had the wave control really well in the lane, plus the soul kill that happened. So after that, it's just really get the lane management the best way possible and not allow for Ricky to do anything. Oh, Bakery Boy. Oh.
Charm missed there as
Unlucky.
Wukao tried to make a play. He's been very Maddie-esque so far on the Skarner, using those walls to get everywhere.
Using everything they can. Ricky still is fighting with Denethor as much as he can. And I respect the attempt. I don't think it's going to work out every time, but I respect it.
Well, St. Clair not able to do much of anything for right now. But again, they're just biding their time to try and get Bakery Boy strong, to try and get Rockboom strong. And if they don't bleed out any more kills, they might be on the right track, TDS.
Yeah, I think, and this is an important thing for a lot of the teams that end up going behind. Nothing happening is better than you losing. And it's pretty clear. And as long as you're able to find gold, to not make a mistake and throw out a... Oh, cute.
It's good damage. Sword can't land the charm. Winthrop pressing a little bit here, trying to win the game off of lanes, solo lanes getting kills. Not able to do so here. Dragon looks like it'll be going over to the side of Winthrop with all their priority.
Yeah, but importantly here, the dragon that was stolen coming in quite clutch for the side of St. Clair, because with no first dragon already collected, the stacking of the dragons is going to take much longer, and that means that there's time for the AD carries to spike, to become stronger and be able to become factors later on in the game.
Bakery Boy not quite going to get that plate. Teleport coming in here from Denethor. With Maddie up here, maybe they look to make a play on to the Winthrop top laner.
I was thinking that maybe there's more chance to go. Okay, actually they are waiting on the side. So there is a chance for a play top lane.
Yeah, Denethor finds himself in a little bit of trouble up on the top side. He's very low. And off screen, now we're on screen. Denethor forced to flash away. But Maddie going to pursue after him and not able to land the blooming blows.
Yeah, really unlucky there that the flash is not able to find anything. Oh, Rock Boom.
Charm going down,
really
Miracle lands the root on a mobility, teleport from Bakery Boy, but Sword is here too. Bakery Boy over the wall for the rest of his team. Rock Boom cut off, another teleport coming in. It's Ricky who's immediately charmed, takes a lot of damage, has to belly bump away.
Ricky
the mobility looking to take him down, but can't quite land the E. It's a 4v3 that Winthrop is still just dominating it.
Yeah, and this is the problem of not having enough damage on Bakery Boy or on Rock Boom. They cannot make the plays happen here.
Oh, with Sword! Sword on top of Bakery Boy. Sword's got to try to find a way out. He's taking a lot of damage. Rock Boom gets to him. Sword forced to flash.
Ricky.
Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Ricky in a 1v1 with Chookies, healing up a little bit. Mobility will be able to finish him off and get his buddy out to safety.
And just like that, Sword gets out as well. This trade is so beneficial for Winthrop unless there's something here, but I don't think they can follow up. Mobility is just simply too strong.
Bakery Boy! Mobility manages to stay alive. Miracle will fall. And Winthrop University are dominating St. Clair here in Game 5.
Yeah, maybe it's just me, but I would assume that the champion that has one full item is stronger than the champion that has no items. And that just works out much better for Mobility, almost getting another kill there, plus a plate. This game is just so much better impacted by Winthrop, and I'm beginning to think it's the mental, Yanni. The mental from the previous game impacting St. Clair because they are making pretty big blunders, something that I wasn't expecting to see from them all series long.
The weight of the 2-0 was heavy on the shoulders of St. Clair. And under that crushing weight, here in Game 5, they have not found a way, but they're trying to make a play still onto Sword, who's down to half HP and has no way out. Remember what I said earlier, TDS, the longest journeys start with a single step, but St. Clair has been unable to take that first step as Sword stays alive.
I think Baker Boy misclicked on one of the minion there and actually wasn't able to get one more auto attack on Sword. I don't think it was going to be enough to get the kill anyway, but they are able to, at the very least, blow some attention from the bot lane. Mobility gets, or better said, Rogbum gets some free space to try and farm some of the minions down there in the bot side and push the wave onto the turret. But after 10 minutes, there's already a bounty for the side of St. Clair, and Winthrop has everything in their favor to just keep controlling the game.
Yep, Rift Herald on top of it as well. 5 grubs to 1. It's exactly how you drew it up if you're Coach Artemis. Winthrop University, less than 15 minutes into the game, hold a 7,000 gold lead.
Yeah, this has been, I think, the biggest gold lead at 15 minutes that we've had all series long. And Winthrop are making the most out of it. Controlling the game, controlling everything that is happening in the game, and looking to potentially close out the series with a reverse sweep. And Mobility, 4-0-4, not a bad scoreline for the AD carry, the hyped AD carry of Winthrop.
4-0-4, but this AD carry has been found. Mobility coming up huge in the last game, and now just so far ahead. I'd imagine he's going to continue to turn the pressure on. Here comes Winthrop University. Miracle needs a miracle to try to find a way out. He's suppressed, he's CC locked, and he goes down. Winthrop's cup continue to runneth over with gold.
They're still here. They are looking. Chukis is on the side. Maybe they can thread here with the ultimate from Sword as well. They have to be extra careful, and I don't think it's going to look into much more action. Oh, Bakery Boy may die.
Bakery Boy under just so much oppression right now from Sword. TDS, St. Clair, they've been bleeding out gold since we said they need to stop. They have to put a stopper in it somehow. They need a bandage.
The bandit should be not dying. That's the first one in my eyes. Then after that, you can try and collect some gold. But the first thing is not dying to random plays in the map. And they've been doing that really frequently here. As the turret will fall in the mid lane, that's perfectly fine because there was no way to protect it. The top lane though, you do get some gold back thanks to Riki pushing the top lane turret. And maybe he can try and find something else. But so far this series, this has been the biggest, the strongest Winthrop has looked in the first 16 minutes. Virtue by them of collecting the gold that they wanted.
5 grubs, 700 more gold in the pockets of Denethor. He is weighed down with all that gold, but still moving fleet of foot. 8,200 gold. He is 3,000 up on Riki. Hook goes down. St. Clair still trying to make a play, can't find it.
They're trying to find a play, but they don't have the damage. At the very least, they do have first item on both AD carries, so maybe that can be it. Out. Oh no.
2-man suppression, and Denethor runs roughshod over 2 members of St. Clair. Bakery Boy off to the side. He goes down next. They clean up Riki. Rock Boom, the last bastion for St. Clair, and he falls to mobility. It is an ace at 17 minutes and 20 seconds. Winthrop University in Game 5 have come up massive.
They've been coming up massive, and the members that needed to step up, once again, they are stepping up. 6-0 for both of the top lane and AD carry here, and now they are pushing into the base. This may be the quickest game we have in this series, Yanni. It's looking so heavily in favor of the side of Winthrop as... Oh, okay, nothing.
Winthrop has taken it personal that it's gone to 5 games. Miracle looking for an engage on Sword. Maddie off to the side, but there's not much more you can do. You put the Ahri to sleep, but it doesn't matter. Riki in the area. Hooks going down. Denethor forced to flash away. Miracle falls. Bakery Boy onto Denethor,
oh, no,
but he gets buster shotted out and survives. Riki's in trouble. Sword still alive. Everybody on St. Clair is falling apart. 21-1. Winthrop University are making a statement.
Well, at least it has stayed with the kills. It's only that the kills are going all in favor of one team, and it's Winthrop completely demolishing the side of St. Clair. I think that demolishing is not even close to what this is.
This is... I mean, this is a drubbing. There's no other way to call it. A drubbing, a slog, whatever you want to use. St. Clair fighting so hard in this series, tooth and nail, and in Game 5 not able to get it done. TDS, the game is not over yet, but you take a look at the difference in golds, it's going to be a Mount Everest-like hill to climb.
Yeah, and realistically, if St. Clair find a way back, I think that would be amazing, but at the same time, it's close to impossible. This is the kind of games where you typically see FF, let's go next. That's the sort of vibe you get from this game. It's not possible, and I think that maybe there's chances. But those chances are way too slim.
Listen, that may be a vibe that you get sometimes in games, but that is a vibe that St. Clair does not exude. They fight for every little bit that they can. And they are going to continue to try as hard as they can and try to bring this game back. Rock Boom has to find a way.
So, when looking at Rock Boom, right, you have to look at his counterpart. And mobility is 9-0 with 3 items to Rock Boom's 1. Is that enough? I'm not sure.
Hey, listen,
I'm
Rock
not even
Boom
sure
likes
if they have
those
damage
odds.
to kill anyone. That's the scary part. I don't think they can even kill Chukis.
Well, Rock Boom likes those odds. He'll take any fight that he can. Baron has been started up for the side of Winthrop University. Does Maddie have another Miracle Steal in his back pocket? They might not even get a chance because Rock Boom gets absolutely blown up. Off to the side is mobility. Ricky LaFleur is low. Rock Boom is shielded, but he gets taken down because Sword is so... No, Rock Boom's still alive. But it doesn't matter. The rest of Winthrop is far too strong. Everything that Rock Boom could do, he pulled out every last bit. But he unfortunately goes down. Chookies just knew that Bakery Boy was in there. Cancels his teleport and forces the St. Clair mid laner to try and find another way out.
Well, there's a way out. It's called Hex Gates, but it's still not going to turn into the best way to escape. Bakery Boy not going to die here potentially, but it's not going to live to matter as much because they are going to get Baron buff on the side of Winthrop. They are trying to really catch this Tristana out, and I don't think it's going to work out. And you have to question mark a lot of St. Clair this time around, but the biggest thing is, was the Nautilus really worth it?
I thought the Nautilus would be the pick for them, especially with this aggressive bot lane, and now with Winthrop having the Gen G Baron buff, it's all but a matter of time for them to win this one, as Sword gets it done in the 1v1. Denethor and Wakawa, 2-man unit. A couple more kills will open the door.
They only have 2 kills in the side, in the favor of St. Clair. They have more, I think they have more gold, or actually no, not just yet, but they are close to having more gold than minutes played in this game.
It is wild. It has been a game for Winthrop to remember, and a game for St. Clair to forget. As now, Winthrop trying to take out the second inhibitor. St. Clair, they're just too feeble. They do not have an answer.
Yep. It just doesn't feel like they have enough of an answer here. And honestly, it's difficult to even find an answer when you're this far behind. At 22 minutes, there's barely anything. Like, the Kai'Sa still doesn't even have a second item. And mobility is closer to the 4th item than the Kai'Sa is to the 2nd one.
Minions pouring into the base as the turrets are beginning to fall. Winthrop is nice and grouped up, not allowing St. Clair an inch. They are just waiting for the supers to find a way in. They're going to target out mobility. Look at all the damage coming through. Down goes Miracle. Maddie on the backside. He sleeps 4, but it doesn't matter. Bakery Boy forced to flash out, but Denethor will chase him down. Down goes Rock Boom. There's a party in Rock Hill. Winthrop University, the first ever reverse sweep in the CLOL Championship from death to destiny. They win the series. They're moving on to the upper bracket.
From zeros to heroes in this series, they were down 2-0 and they bring it back in a great fashion. Huge props to Winthrop. When it mattered the most, the thing that I questioned the most from them, they turn it around really effectively here. Mobility and Denethor stepping up like they should, and they do a huge thing this series. I can say that St. Clair could have closed it out. They had ways to do it, but at the end of the day, what matters is the Nexus blowing up and you winning the game, and that's exactly what Winthrop are able to do in the end. Huge props to them, and really, I dislike that I'm being labeled a hater, but it's just my beliefs in some situations. And if they shut me up, that's perfectly fine. Winthrop are doing a great job at that, and I love to see that they have it in them to pull it off at the end.
Hey, listen, TDS, your prediction was a lot closer than mine. Winthrop University managing to outlast St. Clair. It's like that anime fight where, you know, the protagonist, antagonist, whatever you want to have them on each side, it doesn't matter. One stands tall, and the one who's down on the ground tries to get up, gets to his knees, and falls back down. It was a wondrous victory and a wondrous series as a whole. Really fantastic stuff out of the side of St. Clair. They definitely deserve to go to 5 games, and they are going to be a team to watch out for in the lower bracket. TDS, I am so excited for them. But what else I'm excited for is we get to speak to a member of Winthrop University. We're going to take a very short break, and when we return, I'll be having an interview with the mid laner from Winthrop University, Sword, and I'm sure he's got a lot to say. Welcome back, everybody, to Running the Rifts coverage of the Collegiate League of Legends Championship. I am here with the victorious Winthrop mid laner Sword. First of all, congratulations for winning a wild series, one of the wildest series in recent CLOL memory.
Oh wait, I cannot hear him.
Oh man,
Oh,
everybody, it's a party down there,
yeah,
huh?
I can hear it
It's a
now.
party in the
Oh yeah, we're on
background.
the facility. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And it should be a party in the background, right? Because we all are victorious. The victorious mid laner. Give a round of applause for Sword. Sword, what a series it was! Absolutely crazy. I mean, congratulations on the victory. I have to ask though. I mean, how are you guys able to bounce back after what happened in game one with the large lead that you guys had, not being able to get it done, and then being down 2-0?
Um, I think it just comes to like experience and confidence because like I know like if we're like usually teams 0-2-0 they're like pretty low morale, but I know like we all know that we'll win the series, so we didn't let that like affect us, and we just do our standard and play play our usual. Yeah.
You guys certainly did. It seemed like in game three, you guys got back to what you're really good at. It feels like the game one composition and the game three composition were very similar, but you had some go buttons in game three. Was it just a change in the composition, or was it an overall gameplay change of individual play as well?
For draft, I didn't let being down 0 to affect how I like think about the draft because I just like pick whatever is good for the comp, and I just thought that a 0 was good game three, and we managed to win and bounce back our momentum.
And Eurazir, very scary without question. Once I saw that pick get locked in, I said to myself, I think Winthrop is winning game three. So talk to me a little bit more about game four. I liked your Aurelion Soul pick coming in against the Corki. It did very well early. But how do you navigate a game when it gets that crazy? What's everything that's running through your mind when you're 37, 38 minutes deep? The game is so tight, and the smallest mistake could end the game.
The league game were definitely tough. We were like fighting back and forth. We just had to like when we lost the fight, we figured out what was our comp's strengths and play around it. Because there's like champ like we usually don't play against like Darius, so like kind of caught us off guard in the team fight in the team fighting part. But we managed to still like figure how to win team fight, so we won the game off it.
It's pretty awesome to do and hard to do on the fly, especially against Ricky LaFleur's Darius. He certainly made a mark on this series. So talk to me a little bit more about the last game of the series. Were you guys just locked in? Did you go to the locked in convention? Were you in flow state? Or was it
Yeah.
maybe that St. Clair came out a little bit flat?
Of course, bro. We're like pretty locked in because like it's game five. We're all hyped up. We're confident, and we're thinking like enemies probably like nervous or like. I mean, they probably don't have that much like competitive experience, so it's like bad for them and actually good for us because we have been to like match point a lot in our tournament. So game five is like our comfort zone.
Game five comfort zone. It's a bit of a
Yeah.
scary comfort zone to have, but certainly one that is fantastic for a team like yourselves, who are one of the best that CLOL has to offer. I have to ask, there have been questions about the team as a whole. If you guys are fully back, is Winthrop University back? Are you guys the best team that CLOL has to offer?
um, I mean, looking at the other teams' games, like there are some strong teams that are losing today. So I think we are pretty back, yeah. Because like we won Hufei 66 when I mean Maribel didn't have their full roster or new roster, but we were against Sleuth. We're pretty confident, and we're gonna try to go to Idaho this year. I think we will make it.
Eyes on the prize, Sword. Before we let you go, you got any shout outs to give? Let the people know what makes Winthrop so great and who your support staff is.
Well, I mean, just like the usual, just shout out to my teammates and coach for drafting and Josh for this program. Just and shout out to you guys too for casting our games.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Sword, thank you so much. Please enjoy the victory with the rest of your team and get ready for even more fights ahead. Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. And Wow, what a fantastic game, man. That was absolutely crazy. I mean, I think that was, just ab- that was something, man. What a crazy series. I mean, it had everything. I laughed, I cried, uh, and
You kicked
now
that
we're just
chair.
at the end of I did kick a chair. My foot very much hurts. I kicked the chair, I think, in game two by mistake. That was really, really rough. TDS. Sword just said they're back. Do you believe them?
Okay. Back to where exactly? Because technically speaking, and this was a graphic we had prepared, back to facing MU that has in the previous years 3-0'd and 2-0'd them consecutively. I don't think they want to be back there. I think they want to be back not only to the third and fourth fight, but also for the top two. And I think that's what their expectation should be.
That is what the expectation should be for them, and we'll see if they're able to get back there again. They're in the upper bracket,
Yeah.
so they are still alive. And even if they take a loss, they will be all good to go. Let's take a look at our bracket update here with this fantastic win out of Winthrop University, able to get the job done. That means we'll see Fisher and St. Clair going head to head. And I believe SLU and UST is still going on at this point.
No,
No,
well,
it is
UST
not.
3-0'd.
That
Yeah,
is
UST
that
3-0'd.
is an error on the bracket. UST 3-0 SLU today. What a slew of upsets.
We had the only BO5, the only match going the whole way, Jenny. We have to be proud of that.
It's my curse. It's my, it's not a curse. It's a blessing, man. That
Agreed.
is awesome. This was so sick. What a fantastic series. But here's your update: SLU versus Ole Miss. I mean, you knew that was going to be a tough draw, no matter who took a victory. And now Ole Miss, they have a mountain to climb.
Yeah, it's going to be a mountain, but it's going to be a fun one because we have great matchups for tomorrow as well. Because we know that tomorrow the action still continues, and we have great matchups in the upper bracket and that lower bracket, like you were mentioning. Ole Miss against SLU, and then St. Clair as well. That gave the surprise against Fisher is not going to be not something bad either. Like every matchup here has the potential to be great.
Be sure to check out the upper bracket on Salty Runback Pod tomorrow. That'll be Winthrop and Maryville. And then on the other side, UST versus Northwood. And again, as you just mentioned, our lower bracket matches that'll be hosted here on Running the Rift. The St. Clair Saints will take on
Yep.
Fisher College. And then, of course, it will be SLU going head to head with Ole Miss. That'll certainly be a match to watch. And we've got a little bit of a thing that you should support here, the broadcast. You should support the broadcast, right? Thank you for everybody who has donated so far. We encourage more people to donate as you can. Please follow that link right on your screen to go ahead and donate if you have the means to. Thank you to our sponsors, Gen G and Ole Miss, who have been a huge help for us. And also want to shout out everybody on the $100 donator level because you guys are the glue that keeps us all together. Barento Muhammad, Garrett Meyerson, Benton Patterson, James Vanderbree, Gregory Adler, Polestar, Sandor Howe, Sean Shannon, Daniel Clerkey, Powell Weissman, Manuel Sanchez, Brendan Collimer, Gordo Casts, myself, Leo Silverman, Shivneet Sharma, Angie Fan, Gavin Hung, Nathaniel Barani, Timothy Bui, Ian Ford, Kyle Upgamer, Ryan Teo, Aaron Lee, Alan Ignacio, Peter Erickson, Andrew Franklin, Tiffany Tran, Beverly Raspico, and Joshua Sides, aka Winthrop Bow, and every anonymous donator that came through Clutch for us. We want to thank you.
Particularly the anonymous ones because we don't know who you are, but you're still helping, and that's great.
Absolutely. You deserve a shout out. And now that'll be it for us here this evening. What a fantastic slew of games once again, TDS. And y'all better be back here and back on Salty Run Back tomorrow because we have 4 more huge games coming at you. Thank you all for being with us here tonight. We hope you enjoyed, and we hope to see you tomorrow for some more CLOL action.